Welcome everybody. This video is about how I liberated my MiSTer from a simple steel Mini-ITX case into a real NES. Now before anybody asks, there's nothing wrong with my original case or anything, it just doesn't fit the aesthetic I'm going for in my gaming corner. That, and it being made of steel makes it literally impossible to install Wi-Fi or Bluetooth internally. What you're seeing in front of your eyes is a skit that represents exactly one-to-one what happened up to me making the decision to do this project. I know my computer's old, by the way. I'm looking to upgrade it pretty soon. Okay, what's the worst that could happen? Where the freak do I get an NES though? I'm sure they're all crazy expensive now for some totally justified reason.
Me the man is, but ain't no working. Wake up! Wake up!
Perfect.
What? Come on!
Alright, let's quickly go over the inventory of what we got so far. So, this is the big boy himself, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Jokes aside, I picked this up off of eBay for parts and repair, but the case is in remarkably good condition. There's almost no yellowing. There's a chip back here on the case. I don't know if you can see that. There's a chip there. It's dirty on the inside, and every single component on the inside is completely rusted through. So I've got the lid here with the press in. It's really, really cool to have one of these in my hands for the first time because, well, I've never had one of these before. I ain't that old. On the front is the control ports here, which we're actually going to be replacing with USBs today. And we have, of course, the power and reset switch. Now, the issue here is that the power switch is not a momentary switch like most modern ATX power switches. This one is when you press it in, it stays in, and then when you press it, it comes back out. Now, aside from that, we've also got... Alright, so this cable does a USB 2.0. Shoot, can you focus, please? Focus. So this does a USB 2.0 header, and then it breaks out into two individual USB headers. These casings were a really good option for me because the original console has two separate ports for the things. I don't think the USBs are going to fit exactly right in here, but they're going to fit good enough. We've got some plain old 2-pin female header connectors. These just have plain old wires on the end, so we can solder those together. I knew that I'd have to replace the power LED most likely, so I went ahead and got LEDs of pretty much all kinds. You know the spiel. We've got blue, we've got white, we got red, we got green, we got orange, we got purple. We got them all, and they're all LEDs, which means they light up when you power them. Oh, I also got the minimum count set that I could of these threaded inserts, which is conveniently 120 pieces. We're not going to be using all 120 today. We're going to be using about 5. And then I picked up some JB Weld as well, because this is the plastic bonder one, which is it's a 2-part thing. You mix it together and it will let you basically permanently bond plastic parts together. I kind of want to stay away from screws protruding out from the case or just damaging the case as much as possible, because I don't really want to do that. I want to keep it original. Alright, so my dad told me that we have a soldering iron on hand, so I didn't buy one. Ah, here we go. Yes, okay, here we go. So got the got this thing here, and I got the thing in here. What is this? So it's a butane soldering kit. It uses butane. What the heck? What? Grab this. All right, let's go. Never soldered in my gosh dang life, so we're gonna be figuring this out together. I'll welcome to the workroom. I just cleaned off the surface so that we can actually do some serious stuff in here, so that's good. I've already taken off all 6 of the screws here. We're just gonna be taking the top off and see what we find here. Ooh. Yo, it's like some black residue on the inside of this. Not really sure what that is. This is the inside of the case here. We're looking at, oh gosh, there's a lot of rusting. Oh goodness. quite a lot, like a lot of rust on this part of the thing. We've got some dust from the 1980s here. More rust on the edges. Oh my gosh. And then over here, oh, when in doubt, flathead saves the day. Okay, got that part off. All right, next up we actually have the cartridge reader part itself. It's cool. You can see the spring there that pushes down. It's like a toggle switch. It's pretty cool. And then you can see the cartridge pins at the end of there. Something tells me these no longer work. Although, don't ask me how I know. Aren't they technically bolts? Everybody calls them screws, but they're like not. They're not tapered at the end. So like, what the freak? Two long ones, and then this should. We'll just wiggle it a little bit. Let's keep going. Got one down here next to the video, just all the I/O. Let's see if it comes out now. Oh yeah. Not sure. Maybe this might just be a disconnection that I can make. Looks like it. I'd like to keep these intact if I can because. Oh, there it goes. Yep, just use more force. That's like a hard connector. Why is it so hard? There it goes. All right, board is free. If anybody wants this, pay shipping, I'll send it to you. I also just realized I showed you guys the bottom of the circuit board. So, if you want to see the top here, this is what we got. Yeah, no, it's really, really cool. NTSC, as you can see, got a whole bunch of like cool things. We got resistors, we got capacitors, we got that. Over here, we got things. Remarkably, this doesn't seem to be, well, I was gonna say it doesn't seem as bad as the other parts, but, no. While we're here, this is the front panel header for the NES. Oh, please focus, please focus, please focus. Yo, autofocus was a mistake. Why did we invent this? I did it. So these front pins are this is the front panel connection header here, so, some of these things do something. I don't know what it is, but, it does something. All right, I'm gonna get these things out real quick, and then we'll continue. Okay, so I found out pretty quickly why this NES was so cheap on eBay. The screws are completely rusted through, and they are absolutely not coming out. So I just doused them in Croil. I'm gonna give them a couple minutes, and we're gonna see what happens. This one that you're looking at right now is actually the way better one. If we move over here to the other side, you can see the other side here. There is no screw. It is gone. So I'm likely going to be drilling and drilling a hole straight through the center and praying and hoping it comes out. All right, so I figured out where the controller ports come out at. It's at the bottom, connected by two whatever you call these. I wouldn't even call them screws or bolts at the moment. Put some more coil on them. I let them sit for a little bit. It's the next day. Guys, when I say that this took way longer than I wanted it to, I'm not exaggerating. So with the 4 screws, eventually the coil worked with one of them. But the other 3, my dad came out and helped me, and we tried a bunch of things. The only thing that ended up working was drilling through the screw. So so that's where we are right now. We sent a pilot hole through the screw, and then did a little bit larger one, got the head off, got the part off, and then we drilled through the rest of it. And for the ones that needed it, we tapped another thread there. We are set and good to go. So let me go ahead and show you where we're at. Controller ports, those came out from the screws at the bottom. Over here, the front panel header, you can see that we're pretty set. As far as this, we still have a lot of screw in there, so we're gonna figure out what to do there. But this one is out, and we're good to go. And besides that as well, we also went ahead and modded the original controller ports here. So what we did was we cut out the backside here. All we had to do was we took a drill and just kind of machined out the edge like it's CNC. I'm gonna use a file and file down those edges there, but the fit on these things is freaking awesome. In the meantime, we're going to be working on the power switch here. So I got it cleaned up with some isopropyl alcohol, got it dried off. The goal here is going to be to remove this PCB entirely because I think there's something wonky going on with this PCB that's not going to work with the motherboard style headers that I'm going to be attaching to. So I'm just going to take the entire PCB off. I'm going to desolder these here. And we're just going to have the power buttons and cut off the LED, and then they can be attached by the metal bracket just by itself. Now, I've never desoldered anything in my life. I've actually never soldered anything in my life. I don't have a wick. I don't have a desoldering pump. I don't have a lot of things, actually. I'm missing a good portion of my brain, too, while we're at it. So, but we're going to try our best with this here and just see what happens, honestly, because in the condition that this is in, I'm honestly leaning towards buying a new one if this doesn't go right. So, let's just see what happens. We just got to, like, flick the switch up. Yoink. Pop this. There we go. And start heating up. I'm going to practice first on these little wires here because these seem like really easy. There's single connections compared to the switches, which are 3. Like videos I've seen, people just kind of like tap it on there and it just instantly does the thing. So it's got to be a little bit hotter. Oh, it's like glowing. She's getting hot. I'm gonna stand right above the fume so I can like smell what it smells like as well. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, there it goes. Oh, I got it. Look at that. That's awesome. Once I get these wires off, that's going to be good because then they'll be like free of this cable. Hold it on. Hold still. There it goes. Cool. Oh, there it goes. That one's faster. Okay, one more. Oh, dude. Man, is that not awesome? Holy cow. Okay. We're just gonna pull on it and see what happens. Is my hand in the way? It probably is. See if I can pick some of it up with my iron here. Right, we're going through, we're in. Can I like scrape some of it off like this? Screw me, bro. It really sticks to the contact. That's really cool, but I don't want that. Okay, so I tried to clip it and the whole PCB cracked, which actually is kind of a blessing because I can't get under the components. Round 2, baby. Yes! It's the last thing holding on to this part of the PCB. Some people just like, my genius is just not matched by others, you know what I mean? Oh, shoot, there we go. It's off. Let's go, gang. Yep, looks like we're good. Pry this off here. All right. What are we smoking? What's smoking? Am I melting the freaking plastic? Melting the plastic before I melt the freaking solder. Okay. It's smoking. Why is the whole assembly smoking? There we go. I'm pulling the soldering iron away from myself because I would rather not put my finger on this. Just judging by how it looks, I think it would be quite uncomfortable. Yeah, we got it, baby. It goes to show that these solder connections are actually quite strong because there's no wobble, or no wobble with them. Oh yeah, let's go. Got this thing now. So as you can see, it's got those exposed wires for the switches, and the LED assembly. I can just remove the LED, so that's good.
Listen, I'm gonna need you guys just not to judge me here.
How secure it really is.
I redid this joint at the end of the project like 10 times better than this.
This might be the world's worst solder joint ever, but a little tug. It's on there. It ain't great, but it's on. I think we're good, guys. Oh, let me give it a little tug. Let's see if it comes off. Tug, tug, tug. Nope. Tug, tug, tug. Nope. Tug, 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 tug. Nope. All right, we're good.
We were, in fact, not good.
Right here, I had to cut a little notch in the edge of the controller port so that I can slide a cable through there. About to get to the part where we cut the standoffs off and install new standoffs for the ATX, Mini-ITX size, and then we're going to be cutting a chunk off the back to make room for the I/O, the motherboard I/O. So,
drilled holes for the LEDs here, and this is me showing how tight the fit is on that hole. Dang! This is my Dremel here. It's important to note that if you're going to be doing something like this,
I have read that Dremeling plastic can make it melt. So I don't have any specialized head for this thing. I'm going to just be using one of these standard thingies. I don't know what the heck this thing's made of, but I'm using one of these. And remember, always wear face protection.
All right, got the areas clearly marked here, so guess we're just gonna go for it. But what matters is not how straight it is right now, it's just the fact that I'm through like the majority of it.
Basically, I used a pen and I used like a actually level thing, and I drew a line for where I think the final line's supposed to be. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup, and then we're gonna see how this fits. Once I actually changed my angle of attack, I had a much easier time getting a nice, clean, straight edge on this thing. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but it is much, much, much better than it was at the time. As far as to say, we're almost done cutting with this guy. I mean, I might have to take off some more standoffs at the bottom, depending on how cramped stuff is below there, but it's looking pretty dang good, man. Really, really happy with how it turned out, because that is nice and flush with the back. The issue now is getting the top half just as good.
This is what it looked like at the end, by the way.
Got a piece of PVC block here, and then if you just match that up against these, perfectly flat and aligned. So I basically just cobbled this thing together overnight to try and get it done before I had to go to sleep. So things are held in with electrical tape. One of my solder joints broke off. This thing's being held together just barely, and a lot of my wires are also way too long. Also, the standoffs are like kind of misaligned. I did a sloppy job with it, and the back plate, despite being perfectly flush right here, is folding out just a little bit over here. So gonna have to address that, I think. Boom. Got another SN30 Pro. Plug it in. Okay, so this will go right in the control port. Shoot, got it the wrong way. There we go, plugs in. Power button. We've got light. We've got disk access. Boom! I think it's clear that this doesn't make me any better at Contra, but it does mean that we can go ahead and address the problems that I'm having with this thing here. So that's gonna be the next step. All right, take off the lid here. As you can see, we've got the disc LED going here. This is literally going right here. This thing needs to be like one fifth the length. Reset button and the power button, which these are the ones where my solders broke, probably because I didn't use any flux. Remember when I said that wasn't gonna be a problem? Aha. All right, then the front panel, the USB headers. Always notoriously fun to take off. And we're gonna be removing the 4 corner screws that are attached to the board. Just go ahead and remove the board here. You can see the PVC standoffs that I installed here. Of course, they're glued down and super secure in place. And the actual screws are done using brass heat set inserts. So some of them are a little bit wonky, and some of them are definitely not lined up. But you know what? All right, then we have to remove the screw here on the front panel buttons. Here we go. As you can see, here's my crappy solders there that we are going to be replacing with something. I don't really know yet. LED already came out, so we're good to go. Unfortunately, these screws are also not the best quality in the world, so use a flathead and just pray and hope that this thing doesn't crack when I remove it. Yeah. There we go. I can remove the little retaining bracket that goes for the USBs. Pull these through, and then I've cut a little notch in this section here. There we go. All right, go those through, pull them out, and the case is one piece again. Have I ever said that soldering is my passion? Well, it's not. Got these guys nice and shortened. They're super short now. They're probably still a little bit too long, but you know what? We gotta make do. And I've also got the power stuff resoldered as well. I actually did a decent job doing it this time, so they shouldn't break as quickly, though they still could break if I bend them a lot, so just as wires are so thin. Oh goodness, I almost knocked my tripod over. 4 and 3 screws. And I just fasten them down just a little bit. Get them started. There we go. Oh shoot. Now let's just make sure everything is in place here. Okay, everything should be in place. I'm gonna press it in a little bit. Let's screw everything down. Start with this corner here. Okay, you know what? After adjusting it, it is indeed perfect. It is perfect. That flatness on the back, oh Nelly. We got a screw to fasten down the button assembly here. Go get them. All right, there we go. Plug this into the reset. Okay, and then this one's gonna go into the power. There we go. Those are much, much, much better than they were before though. Like that fit is great. Tape it is, baby. All right, tape that down. And this will go right over here. There we go. That shows out the front there. You can see, nice little fit. The next step is to put the controllers in. So these are gonna thread through a hole here in the bottom. Put those guys in. Ooh, it's all right. That should fit right in there. Yep. Get right in there. I still don't really know what to do with this USB cable, but I've been threading it under here. This, go, and then that's gonna plug into the USB header right here. Perfect. All right. Yep. So the retaining clip just goes on top like this, and then as long as the controllers are actually in their ports like they're supposed to be here. So there we go. Install the 2 screws that go in the bottom there. So and these will just screw on like so. Beautiful. This guy's in here a little bit loose like the original controller port, but this one's in there solid because it's pressed up against the stud. So hard disk usage LED. There we go. And then I can should be able to just press this down on top. There we go. It's pretty good. And there it is. Then we plug in our power. HDMI cable. I'm having a hard time reaching right now, but just trust me, I'm plugging it in, don't worry. Go. Turn this puppy around. And welcome to completed Nintendo. Favorite controller, plug this puppy in. Boom, powered up. Okay, I can't help but notice that the LEDs aren't working. Some of you keener-eyed folk may have noticed that I wired them backwards. Let's try this again. I really hope they still work. Yeah, they do. Okay, great. And you have yourself a Nintendo. It's not actually. It's a MiSTer.
So, what's the moral of the story? I love DIY projects. The process of spending weeks to think and plan and buying the exact parts I need and then having it all barely work out is exactly what I need in my life. That said though, soldering sucks and I never want to do it again. I didn't actually show in this video how many times I had to redo the wire soldering because I made a stupid mistake or had to shorten them or a whole list of other things. But also, I absolutely did get better at it, and having a new skill in my tool belt for future projects is really nice. You can't cheat your way to being good at soldering, you just gotta do it a bunch and fail a bunch, so I guess that's what I did in this video. If you're planning on doing a project like this with either a MiSTer or even a mini PC, hopefully the information in this video is helpful to you despite it being a little silly and amateur. If anybody has any questions at all, drop a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. And then also let me hit y'all with some final notes before I end the video. The board I used is an Ironclad DX from D3F Mod. I assembled it fully in my last video about the MiSTer project. He's doing a 3rd batch right now, which is shipping in April, and I can absolutely stand by its build quality and features. Is it bougie? Yes. Is it worth it? I think so. Definitely give it a look over and see if it matches your use case. If you're looking for an NES case, search for one on eBay that's listed as for parts and repair. Make sure the listing has good images and look for any bad cosmetic damage. And be patient for the right one to pop up because the market's always evolving and whatnot. In my last video, I said that if we hit 100 likes, I'd show my feet on video. Now, this is gonna seem like I'm lying, but I actually misspoke and I meant 100 likes on this video. So if we get 100 likes on this video, then I'll show my feet. If anybody wants the spare board that I pulled from the NES that I got, chips and all, reach out and I'll send it to you as long as you pay shipping. Some of them may work, some of them may not. I can't test them, but maybe someone else can. Okay, and one more thing. The background music in this video is by John Fio. I recently played this game called Skate Story that featured his music, and it was a great vibe. His Bandcamp page is in the description. Okay, for real this time, I'm done making these videos. Or am I?